Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalam ala ashrafil anbiya'i wal mursaleen. Muhammad wa ala alihi wa ashabihi ajma'een. Amma ba'd, ikhwatul Islami ibadallah. I have a short window currently or presently, and I'm going to use it to make this video, and so I'll try and be as brief as possible as it relates to what I'm trying to convey. And I think it's appropriate for me to start this video off with the statement of Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala from Surah Al-Ma'idah, where he says, وَتَعَاوَنُوا عَلَى الْبِرِّ وَالتَّقْوَى وَلَا تَعَاوَنُوا عَلَى الْإِثْمِ وَالْعُدْوَانِ وَاتَّقُوا اللَّهَ إِنَّ اللَّهَ شَدِيدُ الْعِقَابِ. Allah states, and cooperate upon righteousness and fear of Allah, and do not cooperate upon sin and transgression. And fear Allah. Undoubtedly, Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala is severe in punishment. He is severe in punishment. We have the statement of the Prophet ﷺ from a narration of Abu Hurairah, and it's a long narration, but the point that I want to make, or the point of reference that I want to quote, is the Prophet ﷺ statement, Wallahu fi auni al-abd ma kana al-abd fi auni akhihi. That Allah is, as it relates to assisting his servant, what the servant is as it relates to assisting his brother. Okay? Then the Prophet ﷺ, in another authentic narration, he stated, Unsur or unsuru akhaka or unsur akhaka dhaliman aw madhlum. Dhaliman aw madhluman. Assist your brother, regardless if he is the oppressor, or regardless if he's an oppressor or the oppressed. And of course, the narration as it relates to the section and the area when it comes to oppressor, the Prophet ﷺ stated when explaining assist your brother if he's the oppressor, by preventing him from committing oppression. By preventing him from committing oppression. And of course, this is an actualization of the Prophet ﷺ statement from Anas ibn Malik, which is muttafaqun alayh, where the Prophet ﷺ, he stated, لا يؤمن أحدكم حتى يحب لأخيه ما يحب لنفسه. None of you truly believes until he wants for his brother what he wants for himself. And so whenever a Muslim should want for himself the forgiveness of Allah, the mercy of Allah, the entering into or admittance into Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala's paradise. And so if he loves this for himself, then likewise he should love this for his brother. He should love these things for his brother as well. So when he finds his brother falling into that which takes him away from the mercy of Allah, takes him away from the forgiveness of Allah, takes him away from possibly being admitted into paradise, then he actualizes this statement by advising him with that or assisting him with that, which would turn him away from the course that he's on and turn him back to the course that he, the initial brother, loves for himself. Meaning the course that would lead to Allah's mercy, lead to Allah's forgiveness, lead to that to being admitted into Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala's paradise. So with that said, I'm bringing this up because I have been contemplating on the situation of our brother Marcellus Khalifa Williams rahimahullah, and the fact that I didn't hear about this brother and his case until a day prior to his execution. And unfortunately, I was in the airport. I believe I got 3 different text messages concerning his case. And I couldn't even thoroughly look at those text messages because I have received more text messages than that, right? But because I was traveling, I was in the airport traveling, I wasn't giving much attention to text messages that were coming in at that time, right? And so I didn't see the text messages until after I had landed and got settled in. I think I didn't see the text messages till the very next day, the day of this brother's execution. And when I looked at the text messages and whatever information that was out there that I could find at the time concerning him and his case, you know, I looked at and it drew me to the conclusion, why is this my first time hearing about this? Something of this magnitude, something with this much seriousness. Why is this my first time seeing this? And I was in Los Angeles when, you know, traveling to Los Angeles, and in Los Angeles when I really came to a realization of what was taking place. And so while I was in LA, I saw the brother Najeeb Ali at Jumu'ah. And some people may be scratching their head and saying, who is that? While others probably know exactly who I'm talking about. Najeeb Ali is a person he's an activist, right? And he fights for people who are suffering from injustices here in the U.S. You know, so when I saw him after this, you know, the pleasantries, after, you know, when I saw him, I greeted him, and after the pleasant talk, how's everything, how's it going, and like this, I brought up the Marcellus Williams situation, and I told him, you know, I've never heard of this individual. So he responded to me. He said, in the activist world or in the activist circles, his case was well known. He said, most likely outside of activist circles, it probably wasn't too well known. And, you know, it wasn't too long before I, because it was after Jumu'ah, it was at Jumu'ah when I saw him, and I approached him after Jumu'ah. But I was you know, there was a lot of different people around me that you know how your attention could be, people can grab your attention. There's a lot of brothers, you know, and thus forth and so on. So I ended up talking to someone else shortly after that. The point that I'm making is, when reflecting off of his situation, rahimahullah, is that we as Muslims, we have to be better at messaging the situations of brothers like this who are being oppressed within the society. We have to do a better job at getting the message or getting the word out, if, you know, to the public, generally speaking, but specifically to other Muslims and Muslim communities, so that we can cooperate upon birr and taqwa and assist our brothers who are being oppressed. Same thing with Jamal al-Amin. He's another one that it's clear to me that he's being oppressed by the kuffar, by the so-called justice system. We have to do a good job at getting the word out and assisting brothers of this nature who are in these types of circumstances and their situations, you know, so we can assist them to the best of our ability. We have to do better at our own messaging, because the Muslims, we should have known about Marcellus Williams' situation way before a day prior to his execution. And other brothers who are facing what we would consider to be oppression by the so-called justice system here, like the Jamal al-Amins. You know, we need to be constantly updated on what's going on and what's happening with these brothers' cases, and what we can do to assist a brother or sister who may be in that situation. Because I have no doubt that any of us can be like that. Here it is, when you're dealing with Jamal al-Amin, for instance, you have a person admitting that he was the shooter, admitting this. They say he even has the bullet wounds from when the police officers say the suspect who shot at them, they shot back and they hit him. He even has the bullet wounds. Everything is indicating and pointing to the fact that this man did that crime, yet the brother's still locked up. And what are we as Muslims doing to assist him? That means now that this man is taken away from his family. He was locked up when his children were children, and now they're grown adults. If any one of us, because any one of us can be put in that situation where a case is put over our necks. A case is put over our necks for a crime we didn't commit. Right? And be sitting up in some jail cell somewhere serving a life sentence or some outrageous number, and the whole time we didn't commit the crime at all. We would want first and foremost the aid of Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala, and then after that the aid of our brothers and sisters from that which they have the ability to do. If we were put in a situation like this. And so I'm not trying to be too long-winded. The main point, after reflecting off the brother Marcellus Williams situation, the main point is that we have to do better. At the very least, we're getting the word out about the brothers who are and sisters who are in these types of situations, and not just getting the word out, but likewise also circulating or spreading how we can help. And sometimes we can help by just simply sending a tweeting, or I guess you wouldn't call it tweeting now, but making a post on X or on Instagram or on Facebook, bringing attention to the person's situation. You know, sometimes it could be just as simple as that, you know. And so again, the main point is that we have to get better. We're getting the word out about these brother situations, because all of us have the power to make dua, and there's nothing that's more powerful. There's no better tool, no better weapon that a Muslim has outside of making dua, calling out to Allah, begging Allah that the oppression that is placed on a brother or a sister is removed. And then after that, we put forth actions from that which we are capable of doing to assist them. And Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala knows best. This is what I wanted to present. And with that, subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.